comes back. It's been a better year than it was last year. It's been a better summer. Be able to do more things than we could last year, which is nice. But today I want to talk about Motivation Monday. And there are 3 areas that I'm going to be focusing on for Motivation Monday. One is volunteering. One is applying for the job you want multiple times because you don't always get it the first time. And applying for Hocking College. So let's go ahead and get started with motivation to volunteer. So if you haven't yet volunteered for any kind of activity or conference, I would highly recommend that you kind of look into that. The reason for that is there's a few different benefits in becoming a volunteer. One of them is the fact that you get free entrance. There's usually some certain kind of swag that comes along with it. And then ultimately, especially if you're a student, the best part of it is you get to network and meet with people. So the reason I brought this up, I thought was because this week is the Women in Analytics Conference in Columbus, Ohio. And I looked at it and I thought about attending because I thought it would be a really great conference for me to attend and learn, especially for our data analytics program starting this fall. But I got busy and I kind of forgot about it. And what happened is they kept emailing me, and that's email marketing. This is one of the reasons email is still one of the bigger marketing tactics that a lot of organizations use. But anyways, they kept emailing me, and then there was they were looking for volunteers still, and this was last week. They were looking for volunteers. I was like, volunteering, because volunteers usually have some sort of incentives. So it's like, okay, what's the incentive to volunteer with this? And it's free entrance, and the tickets for this conference was like over $500. So I save $500 and I get to volunteer. And I really do internally, I like to do volunteering work. I just kind of forget about it, and then I get busy and just, how that goes. Now, I don't know if there's any swag with this particular event. I haven't seen it, but there's usually swag whenever you volunteer as well, specific swag for the volunteers, just as a thank you. So I volunteered a couple of times now over at GDEX, which is the Game Design Expo in Columbus. And it's usually, you get free entrance to that as well. And they usually give you a different kind of shirt and some other swag, and it's really fun. And then also, ultimately, especially if you're a student, this is the time you get to network and meet with people. So I always encourage my students, if you see something that you're interested in a particular field, like in analytics or game development or game design, and there's also Code Mash. So Code Mash, I've not gone to that one because it always happens at a week that I'm just too busy here at Hocking, and that I can't, all kinds of meetings. It's just it's a crazy time. I cannot get away. But what Code Mash is a 4-day conference in Sandusky. And I've had a student who's gone a couple of times as a volunteer. And she gets to network. She gets to meet with people. They actually put you up in the Kalahari Water Park Resort. And they provide, I think they provide a stipend for food and stuff. But ultimately, she gets to network and meet with people, and she gets to enjoy staying at the water park resort. And then she gets some swag, and then, she got free entrance as well. So, those are, motivations to volunteer. Sometimes it can be internal, and sometimes it can be external. And, as a volunteer, you put in the work. It's usually an exhausting experience. You're running around doing things that need to be done, but it's good. It's good for you as well. And because you kind of see behind the scenes of what everything that takes to actually produce one of these events. And also, if you are getting started in your career, if you're a college student or just graduated high school and you're trying to figure out what your next steps are, this is a great way that you can add you can add to your resume, that you can fill in your resume with volunteer experiences. And that is going to help as you do your job search. And also, another reason I encourage my students to attend these types of events or meetups, which is kind of different, is because they get to network and meet with people. A lot of people in this particular field, they tend to be very introverts by nature. I know I am. And this is where they get over the uncomfortable feeling or sometimes the nervous feeling that they get sometimes whenever they're trying to meet with people and network. They figure it out. They figure out what they need to do. They figure out what to do and what not to do. And by the time they graduate, then they're going to be that much better prepared to have those interviews, to meet with people and to network and do everything that they need to do. Let's go to the next one. Motivation to keep applying. So I've talked about this a couple of times in other podcasts, and it's a blog article that I'm working on, haven't done it yet. I've just kind of got the notes. So this was inspired by We Work Remotely career fair back in April. So one of the companies that they interviewed was Automattic. And Automattic, they own or they run or whatever it is, WordPress.com, Tumblr, WooCommerce, and some other things. I think they just recently acquired something else. I don't recall what it was, though. So there's a lot of different tech things that they own and they run. So one of the things that, like I said, this We Work Remotely career fair did, they interviewed a developer or an engineer with Automattic, and he talked about the fact that he applied 4 times, I think over a course of 3 or 4 years for the job. And it wasn't until the 4th time that he actually got an interview. And one of the questions that was asked, like, why did he keep applying? And he said for a couple of reasons. One is because he believed in the company. He believed in what they stood for. And then he also liked the ideal work-life balance. So I have the Automattic creed right here. And I love this first line in here. I will never stop learning. And one of the things I encourage my students is to adopt the mentality of a lifelong learner. So, he liked what the company represented. He liked their beliefs in open source. They hire remote workers, and he's able to work remotely and have that ideal work-life balance that he's looking for. So that's why he kept applying. And they even asked, well, what do you think changed from the first time you applied to the 4th time you applied? And he said he didn't know. He didn't know if he just had a few more years of experience doing what he did. He didn't know if just like a different person saw his resume. He didn't know. So that's just like motivation to keep applying and just keep applying yourself, for the skill sets that you're trying to learn, and also just to keep applying in general if there's a company you really want to work for. And motivation to apply to Hocking College. So classes are starting next month in August. And one of the things that I love about the fact that students have the opportunity to participate while they're earning their degrees is that they can learn more about Amazon Web Services. They can earn their Google IT professional certification. And then they can also, take even a broader approach to learning about programming and game development, whatever they have a particular interest in with CS50. So Amazon Web Services, we're an AWS Academy, and those courses are offered for free at no charge for students enrolled at Hocking College. The same thing with Google IT professional certification. And then also the CS50, it's just kind of workshops. We'll be learning about Python, we'll be learning about SQL. Well, SQL's already in data analytics, and so is Python. But we'll also be learning about web development, which is not part of our data analytics. What else? The databases. There's just a lot of different things that you can do with that CS50 covers that we will be, if for students who are wanting to enroll in Hocking College and participate in either one or all 3 of these extracurriculars, and to build up their knowledge and their skill set and just, have that much more opportunities available to them once they do graduate. So, motivation. So whatever motivates you to kind of get you from point A to point B, even if it's just because you see point Z down the road, you got to go through the rest of the letters in the alphabet. Just find what motivates you. If it's internal, if it's external, if it's just, free entrance in a conference, if it's to gain some certifications, if it's for the salary, if it's for like the work-life balance, if it's for a company, whatever motivates you, you can get started today or this fall and help you get to where you want to be. So if you have any questions on anything that I discussed, whether it's these conferences, how to sign up or how to register, where to find them at, you can find them through a Google search. But if you have any more specific questions, you can feel free to reach out. If you have any questions about, something like this or any of our programs here at Hawking College, I'd be more than happy to help. So stay tuned and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.